So the first thing you'll need to get started with JavaScript is a web browser. Now any web browser will do, but most developers prefer Chrome because Chrome has better developer tools for developers. Since you're watching this video, it means that you do have a web browser, right? So that part is sorted. The next thing you'll need is a text editor. Now any text editor will do. Atom, VS Code, Sublime Text, any will do, but most developers seems to prefer VS Code. So we'll see how to download that, right? All you need to do is Google VS Code, search it, right? So you'll be presented with the download link. Just click the download link, right? Choose your operating system. Let's say you're on Windows, right? So the download will automatically start, right? See, so I'll cancel this because I already have VS Code installed, and all you need to do is click next, next, finish, right? That's all you need to do. Once it downloads, just open it, right, and then click next, finish. So it's not a big deal, you can do it. Next thing you'll need is Node.js. So it's the same thing, just Google Node.js, right, and go to download, right, and then choose your operating system. Same thing will happen, right? Just check everything and click next, finish, right? You'll have Node installed. So once you've done this, once you have a like modern web browser, let's say Chrome, right, you have VS Code and you have Node installed, right, then how do you run JavaScript, right? How do you write JavaScript and how do you run JavaScript? So I'll just open my VS Code in here. I type VS in the start menu and VS Code appears here, right? I just open it. And what I'll do is I'll do file, open folder, and I'll go to my desktop and I create a new folder, right? Create a new folder, and I'll type example in here, right? I typed example, selected this folder, right? So now I should have my example file open here, right? So to load up JavaScript in a web browser, you also need an HTML file. So I'll just quickly create an HTML file in here named index.html. So if you have a VS Code, there's something called emmet that comes pre-installed. So all you need to type HTML and select this HTML5.1, and all the boilerplate code is already written for you, right? So all this boilerplate code is written for you. So next thing you'll need to run JavaScript is obviously JavaScript file, right? Let's say I name this let's say script.js, right? So I'll name it script.js. So now I have to link this script file with my index file, right? I have to link these two up. So to do that, what I'll do is before the body closes, right, before this body tag closes, I'll use script source tag, right? Script/script, right? And the attribute that's used is source attribute, right, src. So inside here, inside the file is inside this folder, right? I choose the script.js file. So I choose the script.js file. So I'll save it, right? So now let's write something in the script file, right? I'll write document that write JS is loading, right? So now I have something called live server installed, right? If you go here and go to the extension tab, and if you search for live server, right, you can open it with live server, right? So with live server you do not have to constantly refresh thing. I'll show you, right? One way to run this code would be to go to the file directory, right? So I'll minimize this, right? I'll go to the example, right? I'll run the index file, right? I get the JS is loading, right? uh, so JS is loading. I'll write in here JS is loading, but not but only refreshed now, right? So I go to that file. So here I still have JS is loading, right? Because it has not refreshed. So I click on refresh. So I get JS is loading, but only refresh now. But if I have my live server extension that I installed from here, right? Like this, right? I searched live server and I install the live server, right? All you need to do is click install. uh, so if I have this, right, and then what I can do is uh, I can just type command shift and P, right, and type live server, right, and I get this open with live server, and I hit enter. So it opens automatically, opens in my browser, right? So I get JS is loading, but only refresh now. So I can do JS is loading and refreshed, right? I just save it and I go to that location, right? And then like I get a misspelled refreshed, right? So because I mistyped it, right? So I can just do this, right? Save this, alt tab, right? Alt tab. So every time and I like food, so I do not have to constantly hit refresh with this live server. So this is one way to run JavaScript code, right? So I can do console.log, right? I got a message for you in the console, right? So now I delete, since that I deleted that code is gone, right? So to open our console, all we need to, there are two ways to do it, right? I can click on inspect and click on console, right? So I can see here I got a message for you in the console. So what I did was I right clicked, I clicked on inspect, and I went to console, right? I got a message for you in the console. The next thing I can do is I can just type Control Shift and I in Windows, Command Shift and I in Mac, right? So again I can go to the console. So I got a message for you in the console. So I can test some code out in here, right? So I can be like 25 plus 22, sorry, 25 plus 22, right? So I get 47, right? So what else? I can do a equal to 2, b equal to 3, a plus b, right? I can test some code out in here, right, in console. But I can, like this this is like every time I hit refresh, like it will be gone, right? It's gone, right? So whatever remains is what comes from my file, right? So that's why we need to write a file, right? So this is one way to run. So this is one way to run a code, right? So another way we needed this HTML file because uh, like to open to you cannot open JavaScript file directly in a browser, right? So you need to attach it with an HTML file. So that's how you do it, right? You need an HTML file that gets opened in the browser, and like if you have a CSS, you put your CSS below the head tag. If you have a JavaScript, you put your JavaScript like before you close the body, and that's how you load a CSS and JavaScript uh, from the browser, right? That's the way to do it, right? You can just directly open JavaScript file in the browser, right? You can try JavaScript code by going to the console, but you cannot directly open JavaScript file. But since I have Node installed, I can just delete it, right? I can just delete this index.html file, and I can click here. I can click in here, right here, and I can click on this terminal, right? I clicked on this terminal, and I can type node and my file name, right? script.js. So I got a message for you in the console, right? This comes because now I have Node installed in my computer. So again, I can do let a equals to 2, let b equals to 3, and then console.log a plus b, right? So if I run this code, I'll get 5, right? So I can also do a plus b string comma, right? So I get a plus b 5, right? A plus b 5. So I can do this, and say a plus b is 5, right? So I can run my JavaScript code from here as well, right, due to Node. And again, just like I tried code out in terminal, I can try code out in like Node REPL as well. For that, I need to type node, just node, and hit enter. So here I can like test my code out, right? 2 plus 2 4, right? A equal to 3, b equal to 4, a plus b, right? I can do this. So this is all we need to know about getting started with JavaScript, right? This is what much we all need. Now there are a lot of programming concepts, a lot of programming constructs about JavaScript that we need to talk about, which we're gonna talk about in our later videos. But this is all the information that you'll need to get started with JavaScript. Having said that, I hope you have a great time ahead, and I'm gonna stop this video. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Thank you.